Good morning to the gamers. We have been blessed by Jagex once again today with their fourth iteration of the Game Jam. We finally get a little overview at exactly what they've been cooking up behind the scenes. I am so very excited to talk to you about all of this today because we have a lot of information to talk about. You got me. You got me. I'm lying to you actually right now. I'm not excited at all. And matter of fact, I've been faking my enthusiasm this whole time. Joseph, I see you in the comments. Keep on keeping on. Give me the comments. I love them all. Let's get started because we got a lot to talk about today. This year's Game Jam was mainly sailing themed. We talked about that a little bit previously as well. And to be clear, they did not talk about any sailing training methods. These are just mainly things that are going to be based around sailing. A lot of players' concerns is with how it's going to fit into the game world, and I'm kind of in that area as well. I'm not like a hater for sailing, but I also don't have a huge hard-on for it either, so we're just gonna put me right in the middle group there. Alright, and one more time for the people in the back, all these projects are of course just concepts and are not guaranteed to enter the game. And then of course at the very end of our news post today, make sure to have your voice heard. There are 3 things that are always guaranteed in this life: death, taxes, and Jagex surveys. Alright, they're starting off strong here with our big boy Mod Ash himself with the Rune Pouch Bank integration. So they say this is one of the biggest quality of life suggestions they've seen so far over the past years. This feature is built for your convenience and allows you to get runes in and out of your pouch much easier than before, and all while inside the bank interface. Not only will you be able to put specific runes directly into your pouch, but you have 4 loadout options for you to customize. So you have your 4 different loadout slots on the right there, and you can choose which one you want for whenever you're ready to go. Next up we have lighthouses. Remember, this game jam is really primarily focused on sailing and integrating it into the game as a whole. So down below here you kind of see a little bit of an insight into what exactly they're talking about here. There's a potential HUD with compass points, shows you the sea, the horizon. They've also got a lot of other potential uses for lighthouses, like puzzling quest sections, which is a good idea, being able to try to navigate where to go, like in the misty fog of somewhere. That sounds kind of interesting. Up next we have sailing islands and dungeons. First up, they have something called Crab Isle, which is an area where you'll be able to collect special bait found exclusively on the island and use it to summon a giant crab boss. Krusty Krab be damned. Mr. Krabs, get out of here. You'll obtain treasures and some tasty crab meat. Delicious. Okay, I'm imagining that's probably not the final concept of him, but he looks like one of the regular crabs you would fight on Runescape, just bigger and blue. I'm excited to see what you use the crab meat for. I don't know. We'll find that out together, I guess. That'll be a secret between them and God. Revenant Island up next. PvPers rejoice. Squidward, your bias is showing. From the Islands of Mystery to the Islands of Risk, we have Revenant Island. I'm out. Since the removal of the multi-combat at the Revenant Caves, coming in spicy. The wilderness is lacking its hotspots for multi-teams or giant clans you can pay money for, and they had to put some sailing content in the wilderness. Locked off the eastern shore of the wilderness above level 30 is a not too distant bit of land only accessible via a ship. So I'm curious as to how that exactly is going to work. So if it's a one-way entry, one-way exit, are the boats going to be able to pass by each other, or are they going to like block each other off from leaving? I don't know. You'll need 50,000 GP, which will be lost upon death on the island. That might actually get me interested in the wilderness. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you got me. I'm lying. You got me. There'll be multiple escape routes, so players aren't guaranteed death if they choose to engage with this content. So you have the opportunity to either work together to kill the Revenants, or just to kill the other players. The spiciest reward of them all, though, will be the Revenant Collector. This magical item automatically collects drops from NPCs while the user's in the wilderness? What? Provided you have space, of course, you will, however, need 500,000 GP to activate it, which will be awarded to any player that kills you. Yo, that's wild. Oh, sorry, too much enthusiasm, too much fake enthusiasm. I'm faking it, remember? Next up, we have the Project Rebalance. Moving away from brand new things, this team used their Game Jam time to decide how to improve other content based. Most based Game Jam team of all time? Wow, let's go. Now, there's not a lot that they really talk about in this part of the blog, but they say that they are planning to very soon, like in January. Here we go, Sailing Quest. Now, most people aren't as big of a fan of quests as I am. They start off with not 1, but 4 different quests for the Game Jam. Each of the first 3 quests is designed to tell a standalone story, while the 4th is kind of the conclusion, so they're already coming up with like a sailing quest line. From one integral mechanic to another, let's talk about skilling. Leveling up is one of the most exciting parts of old school RuneScape. True, numbers go up, I get happier, my sad goes away. However, for mid to high level players, skilling is seen as a means to an end. A grind to complete before you can access the most fun parts of the game. True. We do think that skilling should feel different to PvM thematically, and it definitely does. Even skill-based bosses like the Wintertot or even Temperos feel more like skilling than combat because it preserves the elements of rhythm and repetition. Just even furthering the point that RuneScape is a rhythm-based game. They basically want skilling to be seen as something that's not just something you have to do, right? I enjoy skilling, but only when I'm doing anything else other than that. That's probably not their main intention for skilling. They wanted to make tick manipulation more accessible, which I didn't really think that was an intended part of the game. I know it's not like breaking any code or breaking any rules, but I mean, it's got manipulation in the name. I thought it was something that wasn't supposed to be done. Although we've never officially made this a strategy before, we recognize that it's a popular technique and would like to create content then encourage players to give it a go. Skilling activity Rapids Harpoon Fishing. This fast-paced fishing activity delivers a more intensive version of harpoon fishing. Rather than simply clicking the spot and tabbing out, this activity challenges you to predict your target's movement and react swiftly to the catch. That looks really cool, actually. This reminds me of, have you ever played Jak and Daxter? It feels like that part where you're catching all the different fish under the bridge. The activity also provides an opportunity to get to grips with the tick manipulation. Players can quickly attach a rope to their harpoon to gain beneficial effects, but you'll want to do it quickly because the fish, they're not freaking waiting around, buddy. Mud Boy! This mining encounter, mining, here we go. This mining encounter blends the themes and mechanics of mining with PvM-oriented mechanics. The Mud Boy begins the fight by lurking just below the surface. Players must mine the pillars in this boss room to release the lava within. This is another skilling activity where tick manipulation is an advantage. It's possible in both phases of the fight, and when done correctly means the player will never miss a mining action and you're able to dodge an attack. The Sailing Mini Raid. Captain Naham. This raid is aimed at mid to high level players with moderate sailing levels. Oh boy, okay, here we go again. So mid to high level players, does that mean mid combat level players, or is it only going to be based on your sailing level? It looks pretty cool. I like that little miniature map. Although the fights are linear, the path through the coast will require some backtracking. The fights are linear. What does that mean? They all look pretty sick. The serpent looks cool, the crab looks cool, and the girl, how you doing, girl? Defeat all the bosses and you'll have a chance to get some unique rewards. The Robes, a mid-level magic set with a sailing-themed set effect. A serpent staff, a new mid-level staff with a special attack. Mermaid figurehead. Figurehead modeled after Cleori, which players can use to customize their ship. Okay, so they can mount her on the ship, dude, on the ship. Come on, get your mind out of the gutter. Wouldn't be a raid without a pet, which will have a transmog for all 3 of the boss monsters. Dude, that would be cool, having a little mermaid chick following you around, or the crab. And then here is a nice, beautiful picture of, I'm assuming, the cape, the staff, and the robes. Team Rumble. This is Mod Sarni and his new introduction to PvP. He says it's essentially a Counter-Strike style model for old school PvP. That is an insane sentence. Ranking system? Ooh, my ELO fingers are tingling. I don't know what that means. In Team Rumble, 2 teams of 5 to 6 players are spawned into their chosen arena. Each arena has a unique objective. We already have a few ideas for the arenas. Haunted Mine? Oh, dude, Team Deathmatch? What is this, Halo? What is this, Call of Duty? Elemental Workshop? And the Keldegrim Rat Pits. Scurrius stands are eating, dude. Scurrius is all over the place now. Let's go. So for this minigame in particular, they've designed some new types of weaponry, ones that you can't actually find in the game, to help kind of cater towards this new style of play. Ideally, we'd like to add a matchmaking and ranking system, which would make finding and playing games easy and encouraging. Next up, we have procedurally generated islands in Caverns. Now, I know we joked about this the other day, but they really are coming at us hard with different randomized things for different types of content. Over the years, Old School has taken a few runs at procedurally generated content such as Chambers of Xeric, which they're now changing a little bit, Gauntlet, and there's still so much more that they can do. RuneScape, on the other hand, has made much more use of these different types of technology to really push the boundaries. Those of you who are familiar with RuneScape may remember the Uncharted Isles. I'm not, I don't remember that. Which sees players exploring randomly generated islands and claim them to revisit at a later date to claim them, huh? This kind of map generation can be applied to all kinds of content, not just islands. Okay, they decided to expand the system to also include underwater caverns as well as unexplored islands, and you can see that down here below. So they say that one of the coolest things about the generation and the generating areas is that while they're being completely generated randomly, they can still ensure the same random generation will appear again and again. So that's basically like what they're trying to do with Chambers of Xeric, right? You have this element of randomness, but players can still reliably discover the same ones they like the most and explore them over and over again. And here we go, look at that, let's address the elephant in the room. You probably remember a pretty significant piece of procedurally generated content, Dungeoneering. TheBaldMob's mentioned it about 1,000 times, so we thought we had to put it in our Game Jam post. Dungeoneering is an absolutely massive piece of content, and with just 2 weeks of time to work on the project, of course they were not going to be able to put anything together. Instead, they give us kind of a focus on the system itself, and down below here, we can see our little man running through these generated rooms similar to Dungeoneering. Basically, they're just showing us that they have the tech, they have it ported, and it is possible. So while they're working on this for potentially the island generation, the underwater generation of randomness, or even just for a quest, they say, it is possible to do. Of course, they just weren't able to get any concrete things done in this short 2-week period. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the Game Jam. It's a lot to take in. There's a lot of interesting stuff. Some more interesting than others, this is true, but I'm still pogging out of my mind, even if you think my enthusiasm isn't fake. That's right, Buster Brown. I brought it back and forth. You think I'm going to let you off that easy? I'm not. I'm only kidding. I asked for the hateful comments. I asked for the good comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Remember, this isn't just about me. Whether or not someone thinks I made the video about myself, it's not. It's also about the update and you. I want to hear your thoughts too. I'm here to talk to you. I'm here to get your input as well. So what did you think about all this information that we read about today? I like the raid stuff. The rewards look awesome. The rune pouch integration to the bank also looks pretty sick, and I'm always about some new skilling methods. So tell me what you think down below, please. Please don't hold back. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you liked the most down below, and I will see you very soon. I was going to make a leagues video today, but we had a lot more to talk about, so maybe tomorrow. But until then, everyone, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.